Hello, Jacob Folger here, and you all seem to like one of my other videos where I made a little man, and so I thought I'd do something like that today. I'm not really certain what I'm going to make, but and show you how to make, but I'm just going to do it, and then we'll see what happens. I felt motivated to do that this morning. I have a little dog, a little puppy upstairs that is making a lot of noise, so hopefully that won't interfere with what we're doing here today. We're going to have a few things. This is our clay. This is just regular pottery clay. They didn't have it out in front of the store. They just had it in back. I had to ask for it. 25 pounds of this, I believe it was 25 pounds, was $15 or $16. So if you ask for pottery clay generally is cheaper than self-hardening clay. The only problem with it is it tends to be more brittle when it dries. So you might want to, it's up to you entirely. For small things, if it were me, I would buy Marblex or Mexican clay because they're both self-hardening clay, and when they dry, they're solid as a rock almost. Still though, they are not waterproof. This is not something you would want to put outdoors. This is a moist clay, and it's easily pliable. It comes out of the box that way. Before you buy your clay, I recommend that you open the box and stick your finger into the plastic that surrounds the clay. If it's not soft and pliable like that, do not buy it. You will not be able to get it soft and pliable with any amount of work, I assure you. Another thing we're going to use is some small wooden tools like this. And you can buy these in packages at the art or craft store. And they usually cost about $6 or $7, but for about 5 or 6 tools. I only use usually one tool, however, and this is the one I use. I use it a lot, actually. And another thing you can use is a paintbrush. If you dip a paintbrush in water, since this is water-based clay, you can also smooth your work. And you might want to sign your work. A nice little X-Acto razor blade or X-Acto knife tool like this is good for that. Another thing that's very helpful is a spray bottle like this that can spray a mist of water to keep your work wet, but not too wet, just enough to keep it, from drying out. And then if you leave your work alone for any amount of time, even 10-15 minutes, you'll want to cover it in plastic or a plastic bag and just tighten it up and make sure it's tight. And another thing that you need is some kind of platform to work on, which would be some kind of piece of wood. For a small piece, you could use a piece of cardboard, or you could use a cutting board. Most of the stuff you might find around your house, I found these pieces of wood in the backyard. They just put up a fence. And there's a whole bunch of these in my backyard. If you'd like to come over and get one, you may be free to do that. Now, so we'll get the piece of wood, we'll put it down there, and I'm just going to go to work now. The first thing that I want is a ball of clay. This clay is a little stiff because it was sort of left out in the air, but it's still workable. So to make a ball of clay, what I do is I'll start off with a chunk like that, and then I'll roll it between the palms of my hands like that. Like that. And then I'll come up with a round ball, and I'll place it on the piece of wood here, and then I'll just press it into place so it becomes flat on one side, like that. And that gives us a starting point for our little being that we're going to make. Now, if you've seen my other video, you see how I make legs, and I'll show you how I do that real quick. I take a piece of clay, I start to roll it into a ball like that, and then I elongate it by rolling it like this into almost like a little noodle. And just roll it like that. And this is a fun project. This is good for kids. I mean, I can't say what the ages are because I don't have children of my own, but I'd be willing to bet that almost any age child, maybe 5 or 6 or up, could at least get started by making a little creature or little things like this out of clay and get used to doing it, and it's a lot of fun. So now we got these, I rolled the noodle here. This is going to be for the legs. I want it to be fairly uniform, so straight across. And then what I'm going to do is fold it in half like this and place it on the little base I made out of clay. Okay. And then I'm going to want to make the torso, or the trunk of the body here. And so I'll just take a little ball like that, and I'll roll it first in a ball, and then into a basic noodle, and just place it on top of the legs like that. Okay. And then I'm going to make a little head here, and I'm going to show you how I do that. Now, I do this in different ways. I think the way I'm going to do it today is the way I'll show you. So I'm going to roll a little ball. It's about the size I want. I'll place it on top here, like that. Okay. And just get it on there. Okay, just press it into place. And then I think what I'm going to do is make an arm. There's always different ways to sculpt, you know. I just do different things, but this is a nice way to learn and easily teach people what to do. And it's very quick. And you know, usually when somebody's first learning, they don't have a lot of patience, because they're not sure what the outcome is going to be, and so they're kind of in a hurry. So sometimes it's good to teach something like this in a fast manner, so they can actually get results quickly. So I'm just going to just put this arm on here, and I think what I'm going to do now is get him in the position. I'm going to make a little thinking type guy. So I'm going to bend him forward like this. This is all, you know, the clay of course is moist, so you can move it around. And I'm going to bend his arm onto his knee and have him lean forward onto it, like that. You see? That's kind of neat. Like that. You can see it all the way around there. Okay. And then we're going to get another arm going here. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I'm starting to visualize it. As an artist, I visualize some things sometimes. I don't have to draw them. I can see them in my head. I'm leaving his arm a little long. I'll snip it off here in a minute. But I think what I'm going to do is bend this leg up. We'll just see how it's going to work. I mean, I'm not really sure yet. Like that. Like that. And then we'll have this arm come and just sort of rest on that one. You know, I find that action, you know, doing something with your pieces as opposed to straight up and upright and you know, whatever, is not always a good idea. I mean, it's nice to open it up a little bit and have a little activity going on there. But that's kind of nice like that. It's interesting. It's not exactly boring, I wouldn't say. Okay, so now I want to show you how to use these tools to make everything come together a little bit better. What you can do is simply use the tool to blend the parts together, moving the clay slightly from one side to the next, like that. Maybe onto the head, a little bit like that, and onto the torso, to the body, to the lower part of the body, the legs, like that. And you also can, so maybe that arm there needs to be blended into the torso like that. And you also can slim down the leg. The leg is a little bit big for me here, so I think I'll just sort of cut into it a little bit and bring it down into the base. And don't worry about the roughness of it yet, because we can fix that with the brush in the water. So just showing you basically how that goes. And then into the base back here maybe. There we go. It's kind of cool actually. It's pretty neat looking. Okay. I've shown you in my other videos how to do cuffs for the pants. Okay. So we'll just take a piece of clay like this and run it around the base for the base of the pant leg to make a cuff for the pant leg. We can do the other here as well, like that. Okay, there we go. We can do the same around the arms if we like, just really small ones like this, just like that. There we are, and another one around here for the arm, the other arm here, like that. Now this is such a small piece, it's going to be hard to make facial features very easily. So what I often will do in that case is I will put on I'll put on a beard. By just I like doing beards on my pieces. I like little elf-like creatures a lot, and sometimes it can cover up or hide the necessity for a lot of detail on the face, which is very hard sometimes, especially for new folk like you, new artists like you. So I'll just press a little goatee into place there, like that, and I'll blend it into the face like that, so it'll stay more likely to stay. And I'll make a little mustache by rolling a little tiny noodle, and it's got, you can see the edges are sharp like that. I'll just fold that in half right there and put that here like that. Then he's got a little mustache. Whoop, fell off. We can do that again here. There we go, just do that, push it into place. You know how a mustache, the hair grows this way and it grows that way. You can put a little dividing line right there to get the to have that dividing line there. And there we go. We can add a nose. I mean, it's very easy to do. It might have been better to do that before we put on the mustache and all that, but you can just stick it on there like that. Kind of looks like an old man now. And we can put on a hat. I like putting hats on my pieces, especially my little elves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the rim of the hat by rolling a long noodle like this, and then just putting it around. It's almost covering now the it's covering the what the eyes would be, like that. And then we can put a number of different things for the crown of the hat or the top of the hat by rolling a ball like that, and just press it into place like this. There we go. It almost looks like a little bowler of some form. And there you go. It's very close to completion now. You can basically see it just happened like that, just so fast. He's kind of cool. I like it. I like the little guy here for sure. And definitely different. Very unusual. It's probably nothing like this particular little guy in the world, even in the universe. And I own him now. Pretty cool. He's a cool little dude. Again, you could get some water in a cup like this. This cup actually has milk in it. Don't tell anyone. I just don't have time. I'm not going to go ahead and get water right now. I'm going to take a little milk. I think it'll be alright. Don't tell anyone it's milk, okay? But basically what I'll do, we're supposed to use water normally, but liquid is liquid, and we're not going to use that much, so I don't think it will, my little man will turn sour on me. But basically you can wet the brush with water, and you can just wet it and just smooth out the clay with that. It's a lot faster than trying to, or even almost next to impossible to use your fingers to do that. But basically we wet it out, a bit more milk on here, and we'll go ahead and just smooth it out. You can see how easily that is done. That's that. Okay. He's neat, man. I think he's pretty neat. And that is it in a nutshell, basically. And the other thing you can do is you can sign your piece. Again, I said that if you want to sign your work, you can use a little blade like this, and you can put your name on there. So I often sign my work with an X-Acto type knife like this. It's kind of, I usually hold it a lot closer to my eye. Right now it's a ways back away from my eye because I've got the camera there. But that's basically how you do it as a demonstration. Just sign your name on it. And if you think you're going to reproduce it, or you're afraid somebody else will, you can put a copyright mark on it. And the way to do that is just basically carefully take your tool, draw yourself a little circle around it like that, and put a C in the middle. And then on the other side put the year. So the way it should read basically is that copyright mark it with a circle in the C, your name, and the year, the last two numbers of the year. Then it's yours, and nobody's supposed to copy it, and you should be good to go. I hope you've enjoyed this little session. Make things. It's fun. It's cheap. It's a great hobby, and you know, you'll find a lot of happiness in it, I'm sure. Watch my videos, subscribe to my videos, and enjoy life. Have fun. Go after it, man. Make things. Jacob Folger, sculptor, artist. I like to share what I do.